Good morning, gang. Coming to you from the grand room of my office. But here on a Thursday morning, we had a funeral here yesterday, and as a result of that, we are taping kind of one day later. This morning, earlier, it was a little blustery outside, but I think it's gotten quite a bit better since that. But good to be with you on this Thursday, as we're coming up to the week of the fourth Sunday, or Sunday after the Epiphany. And so we're going to be closing in on the end of the season of Epiphany, and we are going to be very rapidly coming into the season of Lent. And that's something that we'll talk about in just a minute. I just wanted to share for a couple of minutes, and it's something that probably would have gotten past me had it not been for watching a news show last night at about 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night, but was reminded that yesterday was the International Remembrance Day of the Holocaust. And as I heard that, I started thinking about a place that I went many years ago. It was actually in the year 2000 on a trip to the Holy Land that I had the opportunity, along with our group, to go and take a tour through the Holocaust Museum in Jerusalem. It was probably one of the most profound things that I've ever done. It was a museum unlike no other I had ever been to. There weren't any tour groups walking around with a tour guide that was saying, here's this, here's this, here's this. It was eerily silent. No one said anything. With every display and with every area, there was written information on big boards so that you could read it and take a look at what you were looking at. But then there were different areas and different rooms that you would walk in that you just shook your head. One that I won't ever forget is one that you came in and they had almost like grave markers of all these countries, and with each country they just had a number, and that number was how many Jewish people had been killed during the Holocaust from that country. And then there was a special marker that had the number 1,500,000, and that was for the number of children who had been killed during the Holocaust. If that wasn't enough, probably the room that meant the most to me and has been ingrained in me for all of these years since was the fact that in one room, it was kind of like a little auditorium, and actually the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, met there ceremoniously at least once a year. And in the back of or what would be the front, there was just a glass case that was probably 6 foot by 6 foot, and filled inside it were shoes. The shoes of those from the prisoner of war camps, as they would be taken off to the gas chambers. They would be asked to strip down, and their shoes would be thrown over, and this was a pile of shoes. And you looked at those shoes, and you just sat there, and I'll never forget, I was videotaping and was coming up and just coming in a little bit closer to this massive shoes, and all of a sudden I focused on this little pair of shoes that was probably no more than one belonging to an infant, or shortly, maybe a 1 or 2 year old. And I'll never forget, because after I saw that, you could hear me on the video that I did that said, I just said, no, that's enough of this. And I had to shut it off. It's something that we should never forget. It's something that should always be on our mind. What human beings can do to other human beings. now that I've bummed the heck out of you, bummed the heck out of myself too, just a couple of announcements. Once again, we are coming towards the end of January, and the last Sunday in January will be our last worship service before we come back inside again. We were going to be in person on the first Sunday in February, and that's Sunday, February 6th. 6th or 7th?
I think it's 7.
7. Okay. Thank goodness Paul's here to kind of remind me as to what it is. I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Well, I don't either. So
okay. But that first Sunday in February, we will be here, and immediately following our worship service, we will be having our annual meeting. We'll have it this year in the sanctuary. We will respond to the social distancing and the masking and things like that. We'll have a couple of portable microphones that are set up, so if you have questions, you can just step out and ask your question. But it's an important day, so we hope that not only you come back for worship, we'll have Holy Communion again, opportunity to share the grace of God given to us in the wine and in the bread. So please join us for that, and join us for our annual meeting. That's maybe it for now. Again, I've got to unbum myself because we're going to be videotaping worship next. But hey, have a great day, folks. God bless.